I'm here with the one and only Lamar Primetime Gafford of the Town Talk. Lamar, we're in the final regular season for softball in the area, and I just want to get who are your top picks?
I think some of my top picks just continuing to be like I saw Manny. Manny's pretty good. They're still probably going to be one of the better teams in 2A. I think it's going to be between them and Rose Pine. Manny is a little bit more offensive, but then I think Rose Pine's a little bit more defensive. But one of the teams we really got a chance to see last week was Grant, and I'm really impressed by them. I think they're going to be the number one seed in 3A by far, and I think they got a great shot of going down to Sulphur. And of course, you also got your teams like Pineville that has a decent chance of doing something. And, like a team like Plainview in Class C and Tioga in Class 4A, I think they got a good chance of doing something.
Give me a couple teams. I know we talked about this a few weeks back, but maybe a couple teams who probably are a chance away from making the postseason. Is that
I think
anybody?
if you, I think if you look at 5A, I mean, if things break right for them, I think Ash is one of those teams here. I think some of those things have to break right for them. I think, some of the other teams like maybe Montgomery in 1A, maybe LaSalle in 1A, I think they have a chance. So I think some of those teams that are like in the middle, nobody's really talking about them, but they could make that run down to Sulphur, and who knows what happens.
Speaking of those teams that nobody's really talking about, I mean, the Menard Eagles, I know they just played Plainview a couple of hours ago, and that was a 10-0 shutout for them. Maybe Grace Christian. What about those division schools there?
I really like what Menard has to do possibly to get the chance to get there. They're number three in Division Three, and they got a very good shot of always getting there. I think they've been there the last 5 or 6 state tournaments down there, so they have the pedigree. They know what it takes to get down there, and I don't think they will be phased at all trying to get there. I think Grace has a decent chance of possibly doing something in Division Five. I mean, right now they're stuck in that 7th spot. It's going to be interesting to see if they can pull out some upsets. But I think the one team to really watch out for in that division is University Academy. They're the number 3 seed right now, and I think they got a good shot of possibly getting down there if they could just win their one game. And who knows what happens if they make it down there.
You talked a little earlier about if the chips basically fall in the right spot, some teams can probably edge over into the postseason. But for the teams that are higher up in those ranks now, or maybe even in the middle, but they're guaranteed a playoff spot, just for the most part, it's only a few games left between now and Friday when these brackets drop. Is there any chance that whatever we see now was basically what we're getting?
I have a good feeling. I mean, I was kind of playing through some scenarios in my head right now, actually, where who can possibly make that chance of getting into those spots and stuff like that. But I think what we see now is what we get. I know this week generally is that week where you have makeup games and you have teams that are trying to bolster I guess, their seating and all that. But I think what we get is pretty much what we have here. And I think this week is going to be something to really help some of these teams out in getting to acclimated to playoff play.
Lamar, I know we're both excited. I know some parents, some teams are excited to see these brackets drop. So I appreciate you talking with me, and we're going to talk some baseball pretty soon.
It feels like Christmas in April. This is our time right now, so I can't wait.